How you doing, bro? What's your name, brother?
Wilton.
Wilton. I'm good shot, Wilton. You see anything? You recognize yourself over here?
I'm just checking it out.
Well, we just letting you know you the true people of the Bible. You're an Israelite, brother. You consider yourself African American or?
More so like creation. Hey.
Well, what's your dad?
My dad,
You believe in the Bible?
I believe in like communication, meaning, intent. I believe in intent.
You believe in who?
Intent.
You talking about Ten Commandments?
No. INTENT. Intent. Purpose. I believe in purpose. I believe it has purpose, you know.
Okay. What's your purpose?
My purpose? I don't know.
Where you get your moral compass from?
Moral compass?
Yeah.
Perception of pain and my surroundings.
So you relying on man to tell you what's good. So you relying on another man to tell you what's good or bad.
I take it into account. I take everybody into account.
Well, you know this book right here is the moral compass. You should be using.
Yeah, I got some of it written down on it.
Or what you got written down, brother? What you got there?
It's just like, you know, sayings, like sayings, and then I number them myself. You know, things that help me get by, like they got this thing called affirmations that you put in your mind. So I wrote down my own.
I'm familiar with them. Well, brother, you know you're supposed to be following the law, statutes, and commandments. Do you read the Bible?
I read some of it. Like I've read the whole Old Testament. I've been to religious school. You know, I've been to private school. It's not like I have no experience with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I've grown up homeless in a lot of shelters. I don't know if you're familiar with shelters, but most shelters have a religious presence. You know, I got family members that's religious. And right now, I feel like somebody's doing something like it's this foreign entity, foreign energy coming to me. Some people refer to it as magic. I've been led to believe that magic is not real. Some people say technology, but I'm in confusion. So, you know, and like I hear a lot of voices about Jesus and just a lot of things. So I decided to come over here and check it out.
What have you heard about Jesus?
Man, I heard, let me see. I've heard I was Jesus.
What?
Let me see. I've heard a lot of things.
In your own head, or somebody else telling you these type of things?
You can
Or are
say
you trying to say somebody put magic on you to make you think these things?
yes, magic. You can say that.
So somebody put a hex on you. Is that what you're telling me?
Even when you say, like, see, like, it's a. I mean, I'm like me personally. I'm always in a state of. I'm always in a state of confusion. So, because every word has its own meaning, everybody has their own interpretation of every word.
What word?
Like when you say hex, okay.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about, then.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
You don't know what a hex is?
Yeah. So if I was to accept, like, I have to let you know I don't know what a hex is before I can speak, because then we would have miscommunication.
So you don't know what a hex is?
No, sir. Like I said,
You know
I've heard of curses, spells,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, through
You
my.
said somebody put some type of spirit on you that had you confused. Is that what you just said?
No, that's not what I said. I said I'm in a state of confusion. Like, okay, when you say a hex or a curse or a spell, okay, so throughout my own journey, like me trying to find out truths, okay, I only know one language, which is English.
Okay.
You know, so I have to follow English. I cannot, you know what I mean, really, I can communicate somewhat, but I can only communicate in English. Or like cursive words, or the word, or spell, the spelling of words. Like,
I mean, that's not what we're talking about then.
no, but what I'm saying is, okay, now, when we talk about curses or spells, that's my interpretation or meaning. So you're not talking about that, right?
I am talking about that.
But I'm telling you, I don't technically know what a hex is. You kind of like, you know what I
Similar
mean?
to a curse.
Okay, now what is a curse?
Somebody putting a negative connotation over you. A
Okay.
negative energy over you.
Okay, now how do they do that?
You'd have to tell me.
You don't know how they do that?
I don't participate in that, so I'm familiar with what people say. I'm familiar with voodoo and all that type of stuff, but there's different type of voodoo and Santeria and all that type of stuff. So you'd have to be more specific.
Okay.
Because he started out by saying that, and now you're saying you don't know what it is. So I'm not sure if that's the direction you want to take the conversation. I'm just asking questions.
No, actually, I walked up and I kind of was just listening to you on the microphone. It seems like you,
Yeah,
and I just kind of like, you know,
right before we got off on that tangent, you mentioned that you heard things about Jesus. And then I asked you, what about Jesus? You said you were told you were Jesus.
Yeah.
Then I asked you, who told you that?
Yeah, and I said, I said magic. You know what I mean? Or
Magic?
You know, yeah.
So somebody,
What I've been led to believe is magic, because I've never used magic, or I don't know what it is. So everything is always
so
what
why
I've
do you
been
use
led.
that term?
Because I can only start. English is the only language that I know.
And I know exactly what magic is.
Huh?
We both know what magic is.
No, technically I don't. You know what I'm saying?
So why'd you say it?
Because I came up here and you technically asked me questions
So what
first.
is magic to you? What is magic to you?
What is magic to you?
Yeah.
Okay, if I had to come up with my interpretation of magic on
Yeah.
the spot, I would say it is something unknown. I know I dropped
That
it.
doesn't mean it's gravity, though.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we can scratch gravity. In other words, if somebody walks towards me, I know what direction they're coming from.
Great.
Okay, if somebody, if I hear voices in my head or see things that I don't know where it's coming from, I think people refer to that as magic
No.
or superstition. Have you heard of superstitions?
Superstition is something totally separate.
The belief in
Yeah.
superstition is the belief in stuff that really, you know what I mean? It's not. It's basically a belief system, you know what I mean? Of either wrong information or something.
Yeah.
That's what
Get the actual
superstition is?
definition.
What's that?
That's what superstition is?
Let me get
So,
that-
superstition is something like, oh, I have to put my left foot out first before I get off the bed, like.
And
or
that's
something.
not true, right?
I mean, some people think that way. I'm not saying it's not true for
Oh.
anybody. I'm just saying
Some
some
people
people
say-
have that program through their own brain.
Yeah.
Like, I have to put my left sock on before my right sock, and it just feels weird. You know what I mean? It's just unnatural. It feels different if I do it the other way. You know, go ahead.
So this is the definition of superstition. Excessively or credulous belief in and reverence for supernatural beings. A widely held but unjustified belief in supernatural causation leading to certain consequences of an event or a practice based on such belief.
Exactly. So if I wake up and I put my right sock on before my left sock, and that's something against my superstition, I'm going to assume, okay, well, damn, something might happen to me today that I might not be ready for, something negative, you know what I mean? That's just something that individuals come up with. I'm not saying it's true, but maybe somebody down the line have experienced that in their life. Man, last time I did that, I got into an accident, or somebody died in my family, or who knows what. Anything can happen. But when you mention magic, magic is separate from superstition, because you reference that with you hearing voices in your head.
Yeah, I'm saying, that's why I said I don't know what magic is. It's what I've been led to believe. And I can only
So-
start with the word, or, you know, like, in other words, I was taught English, or if I was taught Spanish, or I was taught any language, I have to start somewhere. Like, because we're communicating right now, but we using words and we not really grunting, or we not really like, we're not, you know.
Writing isn't a language.
I get what you're saying, and so we're starting at English, right? And I'm,
Yeah, we understand English. That's what we're teaching.
yeah,
That's what
when,
we're talking about.
yeah, when you ask me what is magic,
But,
I
but
said,
words have meaning, though, right?
yeah, yes.
And magic has a meaning behind it, right?
See, that's what I'm saying. When you say magic has a meaning
Yeah,
behind
has
it,
a
right?
meaning.
I don't know.
Of course you do, because you said it. Somebody put magic on you somehow, right?
Yeah, I understand that. But when you speak
No,
like
I'm
that,
just confirming what you said. Somebody,
Yeah.
you said somebody put magic on you. And now you're hearing voices of some sort.
What I've been led to believe is magic. I don't technically know what magic
So
is.
how do you know it's affecting you if you don't believe it?
If you don't know what exactly, if you don't know what magic, what it is exactly, how do you know its effects?
How do I know its effects?
Yeah, because you said you hear voices. Now I say, okay, well, where'd that come from? Or something along that line. You said magic happened. Somebody put magic on you. But now you can't define magic, but yet there's a reciprocation and an effect of that quote unquote magic that you experience that you aren't familiar with. So something has to give. Either you know what magic is, and that's what's causing you to hear voices in your head and saying you're Jesus, or you don't know what magic is, and the voices in your head are just naturally or subconscious of some sort.
No, what I'm saying is, I honestly came up here, and my goal was to just take in the information. So
Yeah, we're talking about what you believe in, though.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in what we believe in, I mean, that's not a problem, but
I'm saying
you never addressed that. So
What I've been led to believe, because like it's people out here that believe in superstition, right? Or they've been led,
the
been led.
superstition has nothing to do with what we're talking about there.
Okay, like are you intending to educate people?
Absolutely.
So
But I'm just inquiring about your beliefs before I educate you.
I get that.
And where
I
you're
get
coming
that.
from.
Yeah. Okay, where I'm coming from, okay, I just walked up and I was just trying to take in the information and see what they was about, and you kind of asked me questions.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna ask you questions. Is that an issue?
And we kind of know, and we kind of been like in miscommunication because you kind of
That's not
been like.
miscommunication. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand you, brother. What's your name?
My name's Wilton.
Wilton. Oh, you said it wasn't earlier. Wilton, do you believe in the Bible, Wilton? Because you said you were in a shelter. That's some type of religious presence. Did they read the Bible in there?
They have Bibles around.
Did they read it to you though, or did you have to just read it on your own?
No, I read it on my own.
And what did you get from it when you read it?
Well, what I got from it, okay, I'm on this energy that attacks me, right? I'm trying
Hold
to.
on, what?
This energy that attacks me, you know what I'm saying? It's this.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know something attacks you?
Because I
And
can
in what
feel.
way?
I can feel. See that? You know, this creates like miscommunication. Like you have to let me speak. You said, how do I know it attacks me? Like I feel it, or it's a presence. Like, yeah, we all feel energy, right? Like this energy that I feel, huh? Alright, I'm gonna just walk off. Like I actually just walked up to just to see what you was talking about. Like, you know, like every time you ask me a question, I'm actually, if you listen to my tone of voice, you know, I speak with, you know, I'm gonna have a purpose with my tone of voice. Like, you know, I don't really know what it is. Like I'm trying to get the information from you.
We haven't gotten there yet.
I have.
Because our information is coming from the Bible, so I'm asking about the Bible. And then you said something about you feel energy, and you have some type of spirit on you. So
No, okay.
you didn't answer the question. That's why.
You asked me, do I read the Bible? Or what the
Exactly.
Bible means to me, right?
Yeah, and then you went somewhere else.
No. Let me speak. I'm trying to tell you what the Bible means to me.
Sir, you didn't say anything about the Bible. You said, I have spirits on me and I feel energy. That has nothing to do with the Bible.
No, I'm telling you what it means to me. My meaning comes from somewhere. It has to come from somewhere, right? I mean, you know, what it means to me.
So you feeling energy you're answering my question about the Bible.
You asked me what the Bible means to me, right? To me, it's a guide. Why is it a guide? On my journey for the truth, I read about this guy. I think his name is Pythagoras. And he wrote about this thing called the right-hand way or something like that. And to write things that can only be understood by people that have gone through something. It's a way to hide secrets or hide information to not make it so readily available. It's only available to a select few. So that's how, when I read the Bible, I get specific interpretations out of it. Usually what I get out of it, it's a book on how to take control of your mind and manifest the things that you want to see come.
Okay. And that's what you started out with intent, right? You said intent earlier, right?
What is the Bible? Because the Bible was still written by a man and with his own intent.
No, I don't agree with that.
Oh, you don't agree with that?
The Bible is written by a holy man, chosen by God to write down his words, which just so happen to be our ancestors. We are the people of the Bible. We live the Bible.
I believe all people are people of the Bible.
I mean, of course, everybody comes from people that thousands of years ago, they all have a lineage of the Bible. So I don't disagree with that. But I'm talking about the people that God chose, the people that wrote this book, our ancestors, we believe in this Bible because we believe our ancestors wrote this Bible. And there's prophecy in this Bible proving what was going to happen in the past back then and in the future now.
Okay, I believe our ancestors wrote that book too. But the thing about like how I look at it as we're all relatives, and I look at things as human history, and I don't look at things as so division. Like so I believe like any man can really claim that they wrote, their ancestors wrote the Bible, or if they did not write the Bible, I have things that I've written down from the Bible to provide me with truth, and I put my own numbers behind it, and I think, you know what I mean, therefore I could say I've written my own Bible, and if it lasts throughout time, then somebody could say my ancestor wrote this book that we use to help us get by and we follow.
I mean, there's a difference between divinity and your own interpretation that you wrote down.
I know, I'm not claiming to be divine.
But you're trying to make it seem like your words down the line could be comparable to the Bible.
No. What I'm saying is, like, if I have a family, like if I have children, and then I teach my children, I say, hey, son, throughout my travels in life, these were the quotes that helped me get by that I thought were interesting. I took some from the Bible, I took some from here, I took some from here. And then my son, maybe he becomes very successful and he say, I owe it to my dad. He told me, read this. And then he teaches his son and his daughters. And then maybe they become successful and then it becomes their own family Bible.
I believe that. I can see what you're saying.
And when you say your ancestors wrote the Bible,
Yeah.
so we eliminate a lot of miscommunication right now. And I feel like this is a point of me coming up, you know what I mean, eliminate miscommunication. And it's all positive and love, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely positive. I'm trying to understand first before I... Give me, Rock 30 real quick. Matter of fact, no, give me Deuteronomy 28. You said you're African American, right?
No, I don't like interpretations of that, because when you say like original man, the first man.
I didn't say that.
No, okay. I'm sorry, you did not say that. I try to view myself as being like, I was born naked, okay? I had, you know what I mean, what is color? Like, you know, like, I only know one English, right? So this thing is color, I refer to it as black. But somebody has never spoken.
That's black?
Or brown.
Okay.
But check this out. Somebody from another country, like maybe the Amazon jungle, they may have never heard English a day in their life. Do they refer to themselves as being black, brown? They never heard the word. What is even their interpretation of color? You know what I mean? To somebody that's you're born naked in the world, I don't really think, like, you know what I mean, to refer to myself as being African American, Chinese, or anything like that. That's simply not what I was born with.
We know you're not Chinese, bro.
No, but what
We know
I'm saying
that
is,
for a fact.
a Chinese man could say, he could come up with his own word, and then
It doesn't make it true.
it doesn't
People
make
come
it
up with
true.
plenty of things that aren't true.
Okay, if I was born, so the first man that was born here, when did the interpretation of him, like, when did he interpret himself being from Africa?
What's that?
When did he
The
interpret?
first man ever? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, in the Bible it says something about Adam and Eve, right? Two people, right?
Sure.
Okay, when did the interpretation of Africa come about?
Later on in Genesis.
Okay, who brought that interpretation?
What do you mean? There's give me Genesis about a 4. You know what I want? A 4. Africa isn't a term that wasn't even a term back then. Obviously, we're speaking, Africa is English or a Greek word, actually. Just like Egypt. Egypt is a Greek word. But we both know, if I look at the map and look at Egypt, oh, there it is. But the people of ancient Kemet didn't call it Egypt. White people called it Egypt after they conquered it. Same as Africa. Africa does come from a Hebrew ancestor, but it didn't call it Africa per se. You know what I mean?
Or you got things like, so like, if I climb up a hill, right? Like if I just take mountain climbing as a hobby, and I fall down the hill, and I catch amnesia, and I have no memory of where I come from, like as far as my history. You know, all I need is food, water, and shelter to survive. You get what I'm saying? So how am I like African? How am I, you know what I mean?
Nobody's saying you're African.
But you said, okay, like how do I come from Africa? If I fall down and hit my head and I catch amnesia, all I need is food, water, and shelter to survive. So, you know, I don't need where I come from to survive. Huh?
Why not?
Because technically science says you need food, you need water, you need shelter, you
So
need
you have,
clothing.
you have to depend on somebody else to give you that, right?
No, you can go get it yourself.
How?
Okay, like,
Somebody has to teach you how, right?
no.
Somebody does have to teach you how.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have any money, right? You don't work.
No.
You don't.
No.
How you gonna get water and food without working?
Because, okay, we live in a society today.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
You don't know how to do anything.
No.
You came out naked, right? So technically, if that was to happen to you again, you'd essentially be in a state of a newborn child, not knowing a damn thing, not even knowing how to communicate.
No, I would still know something. See, like,
How?
because every animal has instincts. And
No, you're not an animal.
I'm not an animal.
No.
Why do I have teeth? Why do I have nose? Why do I have a
That
nose?
makes you an animal?
Why do I have eyes?
Are you smarter than an animal? Or are you equal to an animal?
I'm equal to an animal.
That's crazy, brother.
You don't believe that?
Animals can't speak.
And animals don't have.
No, animals do speak.
And animals don't have morality.
No, yes they do.
No, they don't. They go on instinct.
They
don't
have
have
morality.
morality.
Sometimes their conscience takes over. It's instances
Really?
where this happens every day, and then so
It
like
happens every day?
so it's we have perfect examples of this.
Okay, so
We
go
have
to
dogs.
the,
They go to the park and they communicate with each other.
Sir,
They have
do you
families,
communicate with them?
and then you have to
Do you
understand.
communicate with them?
Yes, it's called like we're mammals. We're warm-blooded.
That's
All animals aren't mammals, though.
All
Right or
animals-
wrong?
All animals aren't mammals.
No.
You have reptiles. You have things of
Are
different
all animals
classifications.
mammals? Are all
Are
animals
animals
mammals?
mammals? I'm not sure right now
Of
because.
course they're not.
But
Of
look,
course they're not.
you know why I said I'm not sure? Because
Well, I'm telling you they're not.
it's called logic, and I'm not sure whether that's a fallacy or not to accept what you just said right
What's
there.
the definition of mammal? So I'm pretty sure this means.
Exactly. You can say, yeah, that's. Thank you. That's correct. You have to look up. Are animals
A
mammals?
mammal is a warm-blooded, a warm-blooded organism that gives birth.
You say
and
animals?
It gives milk for breast. Watch.
What's that?
You say animals are warm-blooded?
Mammals. Mammals.
Okay, so we can switch the word animals and use mammals.
And I'm telling you, all animals are mammals, though.
Mammals give live births.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Mammals give live
They
birth.
give
That's
live
what-
birth.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
give live
okay,
birth.
Like, okay, I'm a mammal.
Like the snake lays eggs,
That's a reptile. I'm a mammal.
but you're equal to an animal, though. And you can't
Okay,
communicate with them.
A mammal is a warm-blooded vertebrate. So you got to have a vertebrate also. Animal of a class that is distinguished by the possession of hair or fur, the secretion of milk by females for the nourishment of the young, and typically birth of live young.
Give me Ciroc 15. This guy. Wilton's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. He's crazy.
No, I think it's not that I'm crazy. It's
Nah,
just
you crazy, brother.
misunderstanding.
Give me, Ciroc.
I would never refer to somebody as
14?
crazy. That's unintelligent.
No, you crazy, brother.
Like, you know, you have to have humility.
I'm
'cause
definitely
I don't-
humble.
I don't know
I'm gonna
everything
give
in the
me
world.
13 to 15.
I actually have a college education. And I said
What
like
did you study in college?
general education with a business focus.
Business focus?
Yes.
I mean, that's
But
fine.
I'm not perfect, sir. Like I have a journey.
I
We
mean,
all
nobody's
have.
saying you're perfect.
have, you know-
We're talking about a subject matter. We're talking about one subject. And you compared yourself to an animal, which is
I
nuts.
also said I grew up in religious school too.
And that's fine.
Um,
But we actually got away from that
But-
because
but
you
you're
said
kinda
something
like
about
saying
you having
things to
spirits on
discredit
you,
me.
which
I'm
I
saying
believe
I'm-
you have
and I'm
now.
saying I'm not
I definitely
perfect.
believe you have spirits on you.
huh?
I believe you have spirits on you, brother. You said that, and so you do have
And I
spirits
really
on
kind
you.
of honestly walked up to see like, can any of this help me with it?
Help me. Oh yeah, we'll get to that. If you have time, I didn't say you wouldn't leave, but I hope you stick around. Let me read this to you. Go ahead.
Sirach 13 and 15. Every beast loveth his life,
Read on.
and every man loveth his neighbor.
Read on. Keep reading.
All flesh consorteth according to kind,
Read.
and a man will cleave to his kind.
A man will cleave to his kind.
Yeah, I would agree
Are
with that.
animals your kind?
Mammals are. You know
No,
what I
they're
mean?
not.
mammals are animals.
You're the same as a cow?
Okay, well, hold on.
Are you the same as a horse?
I agree
Are you
with
the
the
same as
exact
a rabbit, a
classification
dog?
in the big Bible. I would agree with that. I say let's not have an argument over words. You know,
Sure.
like
You
I would
said
agree
you're
with that.
equal to an animal,
Okay,
right?
I'm not equal to an animal.
You're above an animal, right?
I'm above an animal.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. If you don't, hold on, what?
I don't believe I'm above an animal.
You're not above an animal.
No.
I just asked you, wait a minute, earlier you said, first of all, you said you come out the womb naked, which is, everybody comes out the womb naked. Even animals do. Animals don't wear clothes. But the difference is, when you grow up, when you reference you having amnesia, and all you need is food, water, and shelter, which I don't have a problem with that. But if you are by yourself and you don't have any family, who's gonna give you those things? Because an animal will go out and find it on their own.
Yeah,
You're not going to live like an animal in a wilderness.
A mammal can too.
That's what they do.
Their instincts.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't have those instincts, sir.
No, I would say.
And
that's
you know
not
why they
good.
have those instincts? They get raised by other mammals that are older than them.
Why they have those instincts?
You don't, exactly, of course, because you're not an animal.
No, I'm a mammal.
Yes.
Sure, but you're not an animal, though.
Yeah, okay, but you asked me, was
Sir,
I above an animal? And I said, no.
Okay. Look, and you said that you brought up.
I don't even understand why that would be such a big deal.
No, because the point
Like,
is.
I love everybody. We all
smarter than an
brothers.
animal.
That's not a big deal to
Look,
me.
you said you agree. You said you agree with this verse right here. Because
I
every
actually agree with
beast
it.
loveth his like. Every beast loveth his counterpart. Right? Counterpart. Very important.
And I
And
love
every
everybody.
man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorting according to kind, and man will cleave unto his like, his counterparts.
I agree with
And
that.
then you brought up Adam, which is very, well, which is straight to the point on this. Adam, you said you brought up Adam, and you said you believed in the Bible, right? Adam was made master of all flesh. So when he's asking you, are you above an animal, and you come from Adam, you are above all flesh.
Okay, something like that, I would choose not to agree with spiritually because I like to practice being like very, very humble. So I don't like really practicing putting myself above anything because I feel like by me being humble, it makes me a nicer person, which means I give people more positive feelings around me.
Okay, let's go back. You got amnesia. You
But
bumped
that's
you
just
bumped
a
your
choice.
head in Alaska.
I mean, we all have choices. Why can't I
You
make a
have-
choice?
you-
I don't understand why that would make somebody mad.
No.
We're not mad.
We're not mad.
We're
We're trying
it's
to.
just not logical, sir.
It's,
And I
it's
just
not
want to-
logical, and we're
why
trying to
is it
show
not
you.
logical? I'm
It's not logical and it's
Sir,
not
sir,
rational.
sir. Difference between, here's the difference. If you, like I said, if you had amnesia, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Let's just say you were 15, 16. Maybe, no, you're 18. You're the age of an adult, 18 years old. And they found you and an animal, like you had a pet dog in the wilderness. Both of you guys are stranded. They'd expect you to be in better shape than the animal. Why? Because the animal has to depend on you for the most part to give it food and water, right?
Wrong.
So you have to depend on a dog to get you water and food.
If I'm in the wilderness, you see, what you're doing is you're coming up with a scenario to fit the answer that you want.
Sure,
Like
sure.
you say, the animal has to rely on me. What if I'm
Of
in
course
the
it
wilderness?
does.
No, wild animals could go hunt and
No, I'm
actually
talking about
grain
your
food,
animal.
food for themselves.
An animal, you and an animal were found in the same location. You own the dog.
Okay, so if you say I'm talking about your animal,
And that's what I said, yeah.
Okay, now if I say
There's no, a wild animal wouldn't sleep next to you. What are you talking about?
And what I'm saying, if you say my animal, I say a wild animal.
A wild animal would not sleep next to you.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying things to fit my argument. I'm not asking you a question.
I'm not trying to pick your argument
You
either.
know,
I'm saying what you're saying is illogical.
It's illogical and contradicted because you just said that. Let's say you were back in, you had amnesia in the wilderness.
Yeah.
You would have to go get your food, meaning you would have to go kill an animal.
No. Why,
You would have to go kill an animal.
A thought just came to me and it said, why wouldn't I go to a tree and pick an apple?
Are you going to survive that much? Are you going to survive just on that?
Yeah, you got
just
people
on
out here that's
vegetation?
vegans. They vegans. You know what I mean? They don't eat anything that comes from an animal at all.
But you know how much they eat?
Huh?
You know how much vegans eat a day?
They eat enough to survive. I mean, society.
You're not gonna have enough.
society-
You're not gonna have enough vegan food out there like that. You're in the wilderness.
There's no protein in fruit.
There's no protein in fruit. There's no protein in vegetables.
Yeah,
Yes.
vegetables, yeah.
Okay, well,
Yes.
what if I pick a vegetable?
Sir,
Are you gonna have enough protein to live?
how long is
Yeah,
it
I
gonna
think
last?
so because you have vegans that live today.
Sir,
But
sir,
they-
they go to the store.
But there's an
But during a
industry.
certain time
But there's
period, you
a
didn't even have to
vegan
go to the store,
industry
and
that
it was
keeps
just
them
free to walk
alive.
up to the tree.
Sir,
There's a
Walking up to the
vegan.
tree was free,
You're
and
not
you up there talking
understanding,
about
brother.
You need money.
The vegans today,
Yeah.
they got like $1 billion industry that
But you
makes
talking
them
about I
survive
come all the
today.
way from back then, and they didn't need money. They could just walk up to the tree.
sir, we had crops.
We had
we
crops,
animals.
exactly.
We grew food.
I know,
Yes.
and they didn't.
You're not.
Yeah, but
capable
you're
of
saying
that.
it's expensive to be a vegan in
I
2023,
didn't
but
say
back
nothing
then,
to be. I didn't say nothing about being expensive.
You
I
said- no, you said
that
I would
there's
have to
an
eat meat.
industry that helps vegans stay alive, right? Because they have to eat a lot of other stuff to find their proteins. You're stuck in the wilderness. You're not gonna have what they have today.
Exactly.
so you telling me that it's
You're not gonna have water, food, or shelter readily available.
you're not going to have water in the wilderness.
You have to get it. You have to
It's not
find
gonna
it.
be clean water.
In Africa, you have something called the Nile River.
Great. You're not in Africa.
But you're telling me the situation I come from come all the way back from Africa.
Sir, that's not the comparison we're trying to make. You're saying you're not equal to an animal. You're on the same level as an animal. And I'm telling
no,
you,
I'm saying
that's
I'm equal
impossible.
to an animal. I'm saying I'm not above an animal. I'm saying
Great. And an animal can survive
But I'm
without
saying
you.
this is my personal exactly. So if the animal can survive without me, how am I above it in God's eyes?
Well, no,
If
no,
God
I'm saying
God created independent, like
An
what,
animal
I don't,
would have to survive on its own. First of all, it has a way better sense of smell than you.
so how am I above it if it can smell better?
Sir,
Your intelligence.
your intelligence, yeah, you're smarter than it.
But it can survive without me.
Possibly.
How do I know I'm smarter
Sir.
than it? It survived without me, and
Sir.
it smells better than me. It sees
That's
better
one.
than me.
That's one thing. You're smarter than an animal, though,
Why would you say that?
sir. First of all,
Humans are smarter than animals. Are you
And
human?
then you also have to understand that humans weren't always here. So
what's the point?
where does human conscious come from?
Comes from God, sir.
The trees, okay, what about the trees? They don't come from the trees?
What do you mean?
Our consciousness, it does not come,
How?
it don't come from the trees?
What's that have to do with
Did you
anything?
prove that?
Huh?
Did you prove that?
Yeah, I can prove it.
Prove it, please.
Okay, the trees produce
Uh-huh.
CO2, it produces oxygen.
Yes.
Therefore, I need it to survive. Therefore, it affects my mind, my conscience. I know if I don't
That's
have
not
no
your consciousness.
if I have
That's not your consciousness.
That's not my conscious?
You give it carbon dioxide, and he gives it, and the tree gives you oxygen.
and I need it to
That's
survive.
it. All right.
course.
You
Okay,
said.
so my
Do
you
you
said.
know what's more
survival,
You
important?
said
You know
what's more-
consciousness.
Hold on. You know what's more important than that?
What?
Bees.
Bees?
Bees.
Bees?
If every bee dies, we'd be done.
Right.
Exactly. So how am I above a bee?
Of course, bro. I can.
If every bee died,
sir,
if every bee
sir.
died, we would be done. So how am I above a
that's
bee?
not- that-
That's why I say I don't say I'm above it.
Sir, people take care of bees.
Exactly.
No, bees can survive without us. Bees were here
How?
before.
How?
A bee cannot survive without a human.
Humans domesticated
Bro,
bees.
No,
we,
no, no,
we,
no.
we,
But-
we take care of bees, sir.
We domesticated.
Of course, they
rabbits.
don't have any wherewithal of where to build their hive. I just found, we like TikTok. Me and him, we like TikTok a lot. I found a beekeeper's page. And I'm like, man, let me look at this dude's page for a second.
So where does the
Hold
bee
on, hold
come
on.
from if it doesn't grow in the wild?
Sir,
If it doesn't, it's
what are you talking about? Doesn't grow in the wild? It's a wild animal.
It's not birth in the wild.
No, that's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm
You
making.
just said we need
I'm
bees
telling
to
you,
survive.
you're smarter than a bee. You know why? Because there's a beehive on somebody's roof. Dude had to climb the roof, cut out all the honeycomb, find the queen bee, put it in a box, and transfer it to somewhere else. You think the bees were tripping, or don't take me where I don't want to go? No,
ask you a question?
they have no choice. What's going on?
What's the solution?
Solution to what?
All the bullshit.
You gotta be more specific.
The fentanyl fucking overdoses. My wife just died of it. I'm
What's-
born and raised here 48 years, brothers.
What's that? You say you.
No, I'm with
You
I'm
said
with
that
what
kinda
you have to
fast. I
say.
didn't understand
I'm
what you
down
said.
with
I do it real quick. But the truth is the truth.
I didn't hear what you said. That's all. But blame the white man for the fentanyl. He brought all the drugs in. That's all.
Watch this. Hold on. So this is the deal. What is the solution? I'll go slow.
Solution to fentanyl?
Overdoses of fentanyl, sir, in San
don't do
Francisco,
fentanyl.
California.
Don't do fentanyl. That's
Okay,
all.
so what? You want to do drugs? You
I don't
die?
do drugs. I don't do drugs.
I'm not talking about you personally, sir. I'm talking about people. They
People
want to
shouldn't
do
do
drugs,
drugs.
but they
People
want to
shouldn't do
die.
People shouldn't do
Because
drugs.
that's the only way it's going to work.
Don't do drugs.
So you're okay with people doing drugs if that's the case?
Excuse me?
Are you okay with people doing drugs?
That's the opposite of what I just said, sir.
So why'd you ask me that then? What's the solution? Don't do drugs. It's simple.
Simple as that.
Preach on it.
Simple as
That's
that.
what we do there all the time.
Don't do drugs.
Yeah, it's not that deep. People is bugged the hell out today. That's crazy. What does that have to do with anything? People in the military do drugs all the time too and kill themselves for less. Is that their fault? Maybe. But ultimately it's the Most High's will. It's crazy, man. People have no common sense these days. That brother said he had a college education, but yet he's not smarter than an animal. How does that work? If there's a stray dog out here or a stray cat, they have to scrounge for food on a nightly basis, living in the cold, whatever the case may be, because it doesn't snow in California, but it gets cold enough, you know. That dog has to go to trash cans and try to find like that dude's dog. That dog cannot survive without him.
Okay?
Now, of course, animals that grow up in the wilderness have those instincts, you know what I mean? But once they're domesticated, once they're in a house or a shelter or whatever the case may be, they have to rely upon a human to feed them, give them some type of medicine if they have ailments. Yeah, exactly. A cat will hunt. Cat will
A cat
hunt.
will survive in the wilderness. A cat will have a harder time here in the city, of course. But out there, like in the wilderness or something, a cat will hunt.
Yeah, but the main topic of the discussion that bugged out Brother Wilton.
Wow.
That brother he just embarrassed himself. That's all I can say. That's the best I can say. I've never heard a 31-year-old black man say, "I'm not above an animal." Like how? Like when you watch certain animal shows, like people over there in like Botswana and Tanzania and Kenya, and they go on these little shoot the documentaries on the lions and all that shit. You think they would dare walk up to a lion outside of that van or that truck? No, they get killed. But guess what? If they wanted to help the lion out and tranquilize it, you know, cover its eyes, do whatever they need to do.
Or even kill it.
Yeah, maybe kill it. That's what I'm saying. You think somebody is walking up down the street in Kenya or whatever the countries are and see a rhino and try to take it down with his bare hands? No. They have to use modern weaponry to kill the rhino for its tusk or their hide or whatever the case may be. Or alligators. Whatever, bro, all that stuff is what happens. Of course it's smarter than an animal. Of course it's smarter than a lion. Obviously it'll kill you if you get too close. But guess what? There's a safety precautions to prevent that. You're getting footage of it in their natural habitat. Of course, we've seen certain phenomena where I read a story about this person lost, or was it like a baby, like a 1-year-old crawled off in the woods somewhere, and this big ass bear carried it in his mouth back to the house. That's very rare. But you know, the Most High made it happen. I'm not saying that animal's smart as hell, but guess what? It's familiar with what happens. Some animals are smart enough to realize, hey, there's danger over here. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, not necessarily the only animal, but the only species of bears that doesn't give a damn are polar bears. Polar bear will eat anything. You know what I mean? Black bear, brown bear, grizzly bear. Hey, you might have a little bit of chance.
All meat.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no vegetation up there.
Exactly.
That's
That's why they don't let nothing slide, because they don't know when the next meal is gonna come. But anyways, that brother's a fool. I can't believe he said that. And he doesn't believe in the Bible, that's for sure. And he said he has spirits on him, and that's the type of spirit he has on him. The spirit of a dumb animal. Give me Psalms 49 and 20, speaking of that. This goes perfect with what that brother was trying to get his point across about. Go ahead.
Psalms 49 and 20. Man that is in honor and understandeth not.
Man that is honored, he's an honorable man by blood, he's an Israelite. But he doesn't understand. Read that again.
A man that is in honor and understandeth not.
And understandeth not is what?
It's like the beast that perish.
Yeah, he's like a beast that perished in that context. Because he doesn't have any soundness in him. He doesn't have any wisdom. He pointed at his skin and said, this is black. I'm like, what? Like, is that black? Oh, it's brown. Like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, that's just dumb. And that's just like, bro, like, what college did he go to? It couldn't even be community college. It couldn't have been. I don't know if he's been to jail or whatnot, because a lot of people go to jail and get more wisdom than that, brother. But that dude was really, like, slow, like, honestly. And I wish he would have stayed to get more Bible, but the type of rhetoric he was spewing was just beyond me.
I don't know if he was being a contrarian on anything or that's just how he is.
I think he's naturally like this, spaced out. There's no other way I can think about it. Because the way he was answering, you know, he was docile, which he's like whatever. But bro, like, there's no way the way you were answering those questions had any type of intelligence attached. He said he thought it was Jesus earlier. I'm like, bro, who says that? Who says that? Like, how do you have a college education and then somehow, some way say you're not above an animal? Animals don't go to college, sir. Sorry. They can't read. They can't write. They can't do anything. They can't communicate. You know, certain animals are smarter than others, like huskies and, you know, certain birds, you know, whatever the case may be. I found out about the crow. The crow's like one of the smartest animals on earth. Fine. But you're still above them. You know why? Because I can shoot down a crow anytime I want.
Right.
I can lure it into a cage and trap it and starve it to death. That's not intellect. Men can do that. Women can do that. Certain children can do that at a certain level. You know what I mean? But that brother, he just gave himself very little credit. He's talking about being humble. No, being humble has to do with spiritually. That has to do with you being below an animal. That's ridiculous.